Yo, this is me. Can't you see? Cabalan for you to be friendly. So come at me if you want to be nice. And I eat curry and rice. Do you know who you be talking to? Who you be rocking with you? I do it here and I be chalking it up for two. On this board you see what I do for you. It's just teaching, billing, whatever I be spilling. My guts all for the big butts, for the sluts, for whatever in this rut. Gotta get out, I gotta do it and not. Gotta get my children out, you know what I'm about. Do I even need to shout? So I tell you, man, I do have some doubt, but whatever, man. This is how I spout on this beat, on this rhyme all the fucking time. This is me, man, and I feel sublime, rich, but not in a dish, not 6 feet deep, cause you know, man, that's eternal sleep. I like staying up, this is what I think is up, and you know me, man, pass my cup or smoke, whatever I do, take a joke, and you know, man, if it has to be, I take a toke, and I'm here, man, and give me the rope, I'll climb out, that's my destiny, I'm dope, I'm just doing this, what I think I'm here, I say nope, I say yes, why do I need to stress, I'm the best, what I think I do to beat the test, this is me, man, above the rest, so it's practice, and you know I can't miss, cause I told you I'm here on target, so 100, 1 million, you know gazillion, I am doing it, I'm feeling it, you know I'm lit, and this is me till I'm dead, till I'm shit, you know I'm hit, I'm not going there, and this is what I feel is fair, and you know I can be a square, but I'm here, man, join my lair, this be the first, and it might be the worst, but I'm on this behavior, telling my lines, I might be a savior. So I tell you here, this is my behavior, and I start with one, and I make it real fun, till I'm done, till I'm getting it hun. Please believe me, join me to the sun, and it's here, where I do what is dear, and I tell you everything I love to fear. So, first podcast, K-billz, Cabalan, whatever man, I bring the thrills, it's my jam. Please believe this is where I want to start, where I receive accolades, get paid, get laid, who knows, make a trade. This is what I gotta do, and you know it's true. Please believe me to you. Oh, come on, you know. Where can I start? I love The Simpsons, always thought I was Bart. Well, maybe Bart and Lisa mixed, whatever. So I can go on forever, but let's stop there. I'll tell you where I want to do this, what I want to get off my mind. This be the first podcast talking about bills, specifically from my name, Kbillz. I wish it was about money. It's more about what I've costed to get here. It does involve some money, but generally it's about things that I paid for in time, money, friendships, and other types of things that got me to here from where I was before. Now, since this is a first podcast, I just want to get into the first and most costly bill I've ever paid for. And that's not being multilingual. I think I'm well versed in English. I do a lot of poetry. I've practiced expressing myself in this medium, this language. But if you don't know me, I am actually a Tamil Canadian or Canadian Tamil, whatever you want to call it. I was born here in Toronto, Scarborough specifically, but I've never gotten fully capable of speaking Tamil proficiently. I can say a few buzzwords here and there. I can understand if you were talking to me in Tamil, but for my speech, it is lacking. It's actually slacking. It's terrible, but I get by. It's just that it has costed me over these years. I never got into a lot of the types of activities or even culture that my other Tamil Canadians have gotten into. I feel very distant from my parents' culture. I haven't even been able to, be close to my parents. For one of the reasons I would say is because of my lack of knowing Tamil. So just, FYI, that's just who I am. It is something I can improve. It's something I'm still trying to improve. But the main thing here is that I wanted to say is that I should have improved it a long time ago. I should have made a very concerted and strong effort to really get good at it. But it's fine. The only issue is I'm getting older. I'm putting a lot more time into my rap, my poetry, just getting better at expressing myself in the English language. So by doing that, it might make me be less Tamil prone. I guess it's just the byproduct of where I chose to steer my life. It is what it is. Hopefully I can improve in both. We'll see how it goes. But that has been my first bill and one of my most costly things to happen in my life. In future bills and future types of podcasts, I'll get into how it's been more costly. But I just want to get into just that part and talk more about poetry. Poetry has changed my life. It's really kind of set up the capacity of how I can express myself. I don't always have to be straight to the point. I can be playful with my language. I can use puns. I can use rhythm scheme, meter. There's so many things I can do now because I see the emphasis of where I can put my language when talking to someone. I can be straight to the point with you, or I can be more playful, showing my brain, my intelligence on how I choose specific words to communicate with you. That's just a cool feature of being well-versed in any language. If you know more languages, then you have different words you can choose from. You can even see different types of cultures and what words they use to communicate with. You'll even notice that if you are someone who is well-versed in many cultures and many languages, they actually find different things funny. And that's good to know. Again, in your repertoire, you have better ways of communicating with different people. Again, the more you know, the better it is for you. So that's what I really wanted to get across. That's something that I will always be promoting. More learning, more intelligence, more knowledge is more power. And that's something that you can always use in your full life, even if it doesn't come across on a daily basis. It's just better to know. That being said, I wanted to get across a certain another point. Now, this being my first podcast, I'm no expert. I'm already making mistakes. I'm stumbling. I'm saying, whatever. It just has to be done. You just have to go with it. Like I said, if I didn't practice Tamil earlier, it is affecting me now. So for me doing this podcast, it's good that I started today, so then I don't regret it later. It might be another bill or something costly for me later on if I did not do it now. It will make me a better speaker, which I do think I'm getting pretty good at so far. But we'll see how it goes. I just need to put on more shows. It's just something I got to do. Now, in your life, you might find there's other things that are costly to you. Again, let me know. You'll see that after this podcast, I'm going to do a bill for every podcast. Again, something that has cost me or maybe even cost you. I might even talk about specific items that might help you in your life. Again, feel free to communicate with me. Let me know if I said anything wrong, because one of the main things I really want to get across is that this is a discussion-based podcast. There'll be me taking sides where I say pros and cons on a topic. I'll play devil's advocate a lot too. So even if you don't agree with me, let me know. Again, I like to discuss topics. I don't like argumenting on them. Again, I would like to hear your opinion. You can message me, you can email me, or you can even call me if you know my number. Feel free to. I'd like to discuss these things. To me, that's very important. Now, the main thing I want to bring up why this is different from an argument is because I'm not here to put down your opinion. I don't want you to be here to put down my opinion. Again, I'm just saying things from what I believe. I can be totally wrong. If I see your point of view, I'll change. And I hope you feel the same way. If you see my point of view or a point of view that conflicts with yours, and you find yours cannot exist with that same point of view, change it. There's nothing wrong with that. We don't have to be so extreme and hold on to our previous points of view just because they were our points of view. And that's important because, again, everyone's entitled to their opinion. But we should always be aware that our opinion can change. And by being so extreme with our own opinion and thinking it is right, that's when we get entrenched into certain beliefs that we have no way of turning back from, even in contrary to the evidence provided. So, again, that's why it's important to have this as a discussion, to make sure I stated that, so that people don't take it too offensively for what is said here. Again, one thing that's good about opinions is that it shouldn't be based around policy. We're not saying things that are going to change the laws. They might if they get enough people backing them. But I might say something that's offensive, and I just say it because that might be something I've seen or based off the experiences I've had. I could be totally wrong. It might be different from your experiences. But again, I say them because that is how I feel. I wouldn't want to change laws based off things I feel. I'd like to talk to you about how you feel. If I find you agree, if I find enough people that agree, then yes, maybe talk to some sort of representative, I don't know, someone in the Senate. I'm just talking out of my ass right now, but that's one way I would see that from this podcast or from things we discuss, it can actually have real life applications. But generally, it's just more about discussing things and kind of seeing where they lead up to, who agrees, who doesn't, and making it entertaining along the way. So let me know. This is the start. Hope to hear from you as we keep going. Anyway, K-billz out.